JSE, highlighting companies listed on the stock exchange which they say are unresponsive and aloof to the plight of the majority of South Africans. The committee says they will make their presence felt in different spaces for the rest of the year until they get a response from President Cyril Ramaphosa and his cabinet. Their main demand is to be included in all socio-economic activities of the country. Another protest is planned for Friday to pay respect to Heather Peterson, who was killed in Westbury during an alleged gang-related shooting 2 weeks ago.
Those who are from the poor and the working class.
Well, for more on this story, we cross to our business anchor, Arabile Gumede, who's standing by for us. Arabile, you're usually there at the JSE breaking down the numbers to us, but today you're obviously there for a social, economic type of situation.
Still the numbers though, still the numbers here in this story, Nompu. The importance of those numbers is the economic inclusion of the coloured community within the economic space of South Africa, ensuring that their voice is heard. Just moments ago, around an hour or so ago, handing over that letter of notice, indeed, requesting that the largest stock exchange on the African continent give note of who they are, exactly how much they make up of the JSE, how many shares are held by the coloured community, and just how much impact their CSI programs, that's the JSE, has had on the coloured community, requesting indeed for their voice to be heard and seeking the numbers on just how authoritative South Africa can really be on the facets surrounding coloured communities and just how significant they should be and certainly are to South Africa's community as well, and the economic space, and ensuring that that is made note of right here in Sandton, and supposedly the heart of South Africa's financial market.
So Arabile, they say that they're going to be registering their displeasure at their lack of inclusion going forward, and they're going to be raising their voices elsewhere. Where else are they going to be going? And surely they should be going to the policymakers, not necessarily places like the JSE, which are going to continue running as per normal.
Well, that's certainly the note, Nompu, coming through from what we expect to see on Blood Friday, as it's supposedly called as well, headed, of course, to the office of the Premier of Gauteng, Mr. David Makhura, there, giving him note and clearly advocating for their reasonings and really where they plan to stand when it comes to the scenario and South Africa as well. They have made it very, very clear that their scenario is one that must be heard, one that must not just be seen, but certainly understood right from the foreground, right through to where South Africa should be when it comes to an economic hub. They plan on even shutting down the country in any way possible, even mobilizing an international community space that they may have in any sort of influence on, to ensure that investors feel, sense and know the gravity of the situation here. They're not just crying out to the JSE and its leadership, but certainly crying out all the way to the first citizen, and that is the president of the country, seeking a response from him to acknowledge and respect their coloured community a whole lot more than they have done, particularly since the dawn of apartheid in South Africa. So the message is clear here. They're not just speaking to the JSE, but policymakers as well.
All right, Arabile, thank you very much for that report. Arabile Gumede, that's our senior business anchor reporting from the JSE there.